Day 8, Part 2 of our 2024 Alaskan vacation traveled from Anchorage to the Kenai Princess Wilderness Lodge. After leaving Anchorage, we headed down the Seward Highway, which follows a portion of the southern edge of Chugach State Park, along Turnagain Arm, a waterway into the northwestern part of the Gulf of Alaska. It is one of two narrow branches at the north end of Cook Inlet, the other being Nick Arm. Turnagain is subject to climate extremes and large tide ranges.
Truckers' lodge in particular, a lot of them like to nest in the North Slope, very north Alaska. That way they're away from predators, kind of have open area, and there's not a lot of predators up there. Many of them will also be in Minto Flats. We saw Minto Flats as we were driving down south to Denali.
Captain James Cook explored and mapped much of the Alaskan coastline during his third voyage in 1778. His ships, HMS Resolution and HMS Discovery, sailed along the coast, documenting the land and its indigenous peoples. Cook spent 10 days exploring the inlet named after him. He first sent William Bligh to scout the North Arm, where he met with Denalina natives of the Eklutna area, who told him the name of Nick Arm, and that it was not the Northwest Passage. Cook then sailed south to scout the other arm, and in a bad mood after running the Resolution aground on a sandbar on his way back out of the shallow waters, called it River Turnagain, having found no sign of passage there either.
It's the mud flats I was talking about, and they are dangerous if you go out there. So they can, if you stop, you can start sinking in there, and then your feet get stuck. It's like that suction, where you can't pull it out. And because of that, unfortunately, a lot of people, you go out there and get stuck. And at first, they didn't really know how to get them out. They eventually found out that if they take this pole and put it next to the person and they blow air in, that will help get them out, loosen everything up, and they can pull them out then. That's only if they can get there before the tide comes in. So here on Turnagain Arm, we have the second biggest boar tide in the world, second to the Bay of Fundy and Nova.
Turnagain Arm mudflats are notoriously dangerous due to the rapid boar tide and quicksand-like mud that can easily trap and overwhelm individuals. The tide, the second highest in North America, can rise up to 40 feet in a short amount of time, creating a fast-moving wave that can drown those caught in the mud. The mud itself is composed of fine glacial silt, which is unstable and can quickly become saturated and, like quicksand, when disturbed.
Boar tide, B-O-R-E tide. This highway does go all the way to Seward. It ends at Seward, milepost 0 in Seward. Yes.
The boar tide is a rush of seawater that returns to a shallow and narrowing inlet from a broad bay. Boar tides come in after extreme minus low tides created by the full or new moon. The Turnagain Arm boar tide is huge, one of the biggest in the world. The Turnagain Arm boar wave is the only one that occurs in the far north and the only one bordered by mountains, making it the most unique and most geologically dramatic boar tide in the world. It's also amazingly accessible. You can see it from the Seward Highway along its entire 40 to 50 mile length.
Especially if you walk along the coast. There's about 30,000 eagles in Alaska. They can weigh 8 to 14 pounds, and their wingspan can get up to 7.5 feet. And they do mate for life, and they have a very unique way of finding their mate. They call it a cordwheel courtship. And what happens is the male and female eagle, they fly up as far as they can, and then they'll lock one of their talons. And then they basically just kind of tumble to the ground. And then they say that the longer that they can hold on their talons, the more that they trust each other, and that's
The Alaska board tide has one of the largest tidal swings of any board tide in the world, with a differential measuring about 35 feet between high and low tides. It's also the only one occurring in the United States. While waves in Turnagain Arm average about 2 to 3 feet in height, it's not uncommon to see ones that top out at 12 feet.
Belugas are the canaries of the sea because the singing, the noise that they make helps them find their prey, or helps them, yeah, and then also find air holes in the ice. And they're one of the only whales that can turn their head, or, their neck.
Belugas are small whales measuring up to 15 feet long with a maximum weight of 3,000 pounds. They're bigger than all but the largest dolphins and smaller than most other toothed whales. At birth, beluga whales are 5 feet long, roughly 100 pounds, and dark blue-gray in color. Unmistakable as adults, their color lightens to white, and they have a dorsal ridge rather than a fin. Belugas have ornately curved tail fins, broad short flippers, and a soft bulbous head. The waters of Cook Inlet are dark and turbid, so Cook Inlet belugas depend heavily on sound for foraging, navigation, and communication. The Cook Inlet beluga whale population, one of 5 beluga populations in Alaska, is a federally endangered species facing threats like habitat degradation, noise pollution, and subsistence hunting. The population has experienced a dramatic decline, estimated at around 331 individuals. It's considered one of the most at-risk marine species in the United States.
It's kind of a one and done. If they don't catch it, well, too bad, you'll have to come back next time. And if they catch it, they can ride it all the way down.
Turnagain Arm board tides make it particularly riveting for surfers near and far to experience the phenomenon. What sets board tide surfing apart from ocean surfing is that with the latter, surfers have multiple chances each day to catch a wave. But at Turnagain Arm, surfers only have 2 shots to surf it each day, during the high tide in the morning and at night, making it a challenge for both novice and experienced surfers alike. Here the mud flats are especially visible.
You can see a really good example on the right at 1 o'clock, that distant mountain, that scooped out area, that's where a glacier used to be.
As we approached the southeast end of Turnagain Arm, we began to see many more glaciers in the mountains.
So we're on our left, and we're starting to see some glaciers. And then we're going to definitely see some as we go a little further along. Starting to see some about our 1 o'clock-ish as well.
Boy, the last time I drove through here, it was pouring rain, and you couldn't see anything. It was really sad.
This is
Yeah.
a very beautiful drive. The Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. They take in injured and orphaned animals and try to rehabilitate them back into the wild. Sorry about that. That's okay.
What kind of boxers?
Those are wood bison. They thought they were extinct, and then they found some, and now they're trying to increase the numbers.
What?
Yeah.
As we approached the Kenai Peninsula, the most prominent of the glaciers visible was the Explorer Glacier. Explorer Glacier is a gleaming valley glacier perched in the mountains above Portage Valley and is easy to view from the highway. It feeds the nearby stream systems that harbor many species of salmon and trout. After crossing the Placer River, we entered the Kenai Peninsula, our destination for the next 2 days. The Kenai Peninsula is a large peninsula jutting from the coast of south central Alaska. It extends for about 150 miles southwest from the Chugach Mountains, south of Anchorage. It is home to Kenai Fjords National Park. Says Wilderness Lodge. Here's the Kenai Princess Wilderness Lodge, where we will be staying for the next 2 days. Looks lovely, lovely mountain, and you can see that we're in one of the valleys. There's the Trading Post gift shop. Here's a panoramic view of the properties. And ours is right there. Yeah. And here we are at Kenai Wilderness Lodge. 806 is our room number.
I'm guessing they're probably from year 1990. They haven't updated any of that stuff. It's bad.
And
so it happens.
Not that
Yes.
bad.
is our room.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you.
Has a nice little wood burning stove. And a nice little porch. And nice little bathroom facilities. And this is the view from our deck. Thank you for watching part 2 of day 8 of our 2024 Alaskan vacation. Join us for day 9, where we spend the day on the Kenai Fjord National Park cruise, sailing from Seward, Alaska into Aialik Bay, where we view multiple glaciers and a multitude of wildlife.